1, 2, 3. Halloween 2, released in 1981. I'm explaining the entire Halloween timeline as the best as I can, and I know I'm going to eventually go into madness trying to explain this shit. So I am following the main Halloween timeline, so it's Halloween 1, 2, we do not discuss Halloween 3 in this household. And then we're going to 4. Let's get into it. It's gonna be so hard to explain because I don't remember a lot of it. I watched it twice because I couldn't remember the first time. So what happens first is they start off with a bop, Mr. Sandman. They start with the final scene of Halloween 1. It's immediately after Michael falls from the balcony. Loomis shoots him off the balcony, and he doesn't let us forget that he shot him 6 times. And he's still alive. He's still out there. Okay. So Michael's running around Haddonfield. He's like in the neighborhood. And the cops can't find him for some reason, even though he's a large man in a William Shatner mask. They can't find him. I don't understand. But he's like stalking this grandma and grandpa. If you kill grandma and grandpa, I'm not watching this shit anymore. The entire series is over. And he leaves them. He just takes their fucking ham knife, leaves them some blood in exchange. Okay. Grandma and grandpa are fucking screaming because of the blood that they found. Their neighbor comes outside and they're like, "Are you guys dead? Scream if you're dead." Okay. Don't pretend that you're gonna care if you're not gonna do it 100,000%. I'm just saying you're a fake friend. Fake neighbor. And then she goes on the phone and is like, I don't know, she fucks with her husband all the time, and so he probably just started beating on her. Since when is domestic violence a joke? Michael's killing this bitch. And then it cuts to Lori being wheeled to the hospital. She does not get a police escort, and I don't understand that. Remember in like Stranger Things, they had a police escort for Will's body? Why can't Lori have one? Everyone fucking knows this girl too. I don't understand, like, do they know her because of her father? Do they know her because like her father's business? Maybe he like buys up businesses and does some gentrification shit. They're like, oh, she's Lori Strode. Because they treat her like she's not a person. She does not want to be put to sleep because obviously she just went through a traumatic experience and obviously she's gonna have fucking nightmares. And they force her to go to sleep while they stitch up her wounds, even though you can like numb that shit. I don't know. Michael's bleeding still, so the question from my last video is that he doesn't heal like we would think a supernatural being would. We get to the fucking hospital. There's a kid with a razor blade in his mouth, which is disgusting. Disgusting. This is the most empty hospital I have ever seen in a movie. The kid is the one patient, and then he goes home. And then Lori's like the only patient, and then there's babies just chilling. And there's like 3 nurses and 2 paramedics, and the paramedics are just chilling at the hospital. I'm like, it's Halloween night. Pretty sure you need to be doing calls and not harassing Lori. Jimmy is the younger paramedic. There's Jimmy and Bud, and I fucking cannot stand Bud. We will get to that later. He knows that Lori goes to school with his brother or something. It looks like he thinks Lori is hot or something. She's a 15-year-old enough to be a fucking paramedic. I'm just saying. It's really weird. Like, it's a mutual attraction. I don't know. Jimmy needs to fuck off already. The entire movie, there are multiple dogs barking. Non-stop. I'm surprised Michael did not eat another dog because these bitches would not shut the fuck up. The dogs and the media are out of control. They give out so much information that legally you can't give out now. They can't find Lori's parents, and I don't know how it is for like alive victims, but I know for dead victims, you cannot put the victim's name out into the media until their family is notified, because imagine finding out your fucking daughter was almost slaughtered by Michael Myers in Lindsay's house over the news, and they keep repeating that bullshit. They can't find her parents. They don't know where Lori's parents are. And they say her name. And they say where she went. So that's how Michael figures out where Lori is. So he heads to the hospital. Before Michael goes to the hospital, he breaks into an elementary school. I don't know if this drawing was already there and Michael just was like, I relate to this art. Or if he drew that because it was a mom and a dad, a kid, and a sister, and he had a knife, the fucking kitchen knife that he stole from Grandma and Grandpa was stabbed into the sister's thing. And then he wrote Sam Hain on the whiteboard. Why are we trying to get like folklore in this bullshit? I have no idea what Sam Hain is. Loomis tried explaining it like multiple fucking times, and my brain was just like, What the fuck is Samhain? So I wrote down Samhain, written in blood, festival of Samhain, October 31st. They like burn, I think, sacrifices or some shit, and they say that they can see the future or something in the smoke or in the fire. That's all that I got from that. Michael is the king of sabotage. Let me explain. First movie, he cuts the phone line to Tommy's house, and Laurie can't call 911. In this movie, he cuts the phone line to the hospital. I'm not a phone person. I don't do wires or cables or long batteries of the sort. But wouldn't a hospital have like at least one emergency phone that like you can't fuck up? It's the 80s. Why am I trying to apply logic? I don't fucking know. So that causes a security guard to go check the pole. He goes into like an area. I don't know if it's like a storage thing or what the fuck, but Michael broke in to everything. He went through everyone's shit. Like, that's what I would do if I were a criminal. I'm nosy as hell. I'm gonna break all those locks and look through all your paperwork. Let me see if you have custody of your kids. Security guard goes into this area where Michael, like, booby traps it. And that's where my next point comes. Michael Myers and Kevin McAllister would be a dream team of sabotage. Imagine if he made friends with Kevin McAllister in a crossover movie. Home Alone with Michael Myers? Home Alone on Halloween? It writes itself. He kills a security guard, obviously. Why the fuck is Laurie, like, dead? She's, like, laying there, not blinking, barely breathing, and no one's freaking the fuck out. They're looking for the doctor. Jamie's like, oh my god, Laurie. And then the nurse is like, what the fuck do I do? He's like, go find a doctor. She's like, but it's scary out there. Maybe she'll just come back. Nurse goes to try to find the doctor. Jimmy goes to try to find the head nurse. They leave the fucking patient that is catatonic. I think that's what it is. Did Laurie die? Question mark? Million question marks? What the fuck happened to Laurie? Then all of a sudden, Michael goes into her fucking hospital room and stabs her bed. But Laurie's not there. I thought she died. I thought she was catatonic. How did she know to do that shit with the pillows and run away? They gave her, like, drugs, I think. But it was such a fucking confusing scene. Because, like, they gave her drugs. And then the next moment, they're all confused on why she's, like, not fucking blinking. Maybe just she's trying to sleep. Maybe she just fell asleep with her eyes open. Close her eyeballs for her. I don't understand that point of the fucking movie. I really don't. They're playing cat and mouse, her and Michael, in this fucking hospital. And Michael, I swear to God, Kevin McAllister would be proud of him. He chases Laurie down his hallway, and she goes down the stairs, which a smart person in a horror movie would go downstairs so they can leave the fucking building. Laurie does that. So Michael assumes that Laurie is smart. Probably because, oh yeah, they just mentioned in a fucking car ride that Laurie is his sister. She was born 2 years after he was committed to the hospital, and 2 years before his parents were killed. His parents were killed? I don't know. But that's why she's with the Strodes. She was Laurie Myers, but they changed her name to Laurie Strode. They just mentioned that to Loomis in a car ride, so they're like booking it to the fucking hospital because Loomis is like, oh shit, she probably should have a police escort. But you know, these bitches are incompetent as fuck, and the fucking sheriff keeps accusing me of letting Michael out because why the fuck would he do that? So while Laurie and Michael are fucking running around, Loomis is on his way with a marshal and another lady. I don't know. Michael leaves a door open. Laurie, she goes through it. She goes down the stairs because he thinks Laurie's smart because they're related. And he locks every single door except for one. So he knows exactly where she's going to go when she gets to the bottom of the fucking stairs. She's going to go in this boiler room where Michael familiarized himself because the security guard is hanging in the fucking thing. But he did not account for Laurie's parkour skills. And she goes through the fucking window. Parkour! Because you just hear a bunch of crashing and shit. She fell on a bunch of boxes. I like to think that he went through the fucking window and fucking bashed his face on the concrete. Pushing an elevator button, I don't think makes it come any faster. But she does that shit. And Michael, we didn't see him for a while in the hospital. Maybe he tested out how fast the elevator was. Because he gets right to the elevator when the door fucking closes. So he was there. He was there, bitch. But she gets away. and she hides in a car. He sabotaged all of the cars, by the way. Slashed tires, he made them not start. I don't know. Everyone's dead in the hospital. I don't know about the patients. A lot of them probably died because of Michael being a bitch. How many people do you think died because of Michael killing all the nurses and the doctors? There were babies. There was a baby ward, and he just left it. So I'm assuming he didn't kill a baby because that'd be psychotic. He's evil. He's not psychotic. Jimmy slipped on the head nurse's blood and he fell and knocked himself out. Jimmy makes it out and gets into the car that Lori's in. Lori's like not doing shit to protect herself in case it's Michael. And he's like, I don't know if he's passed out or he's dead or he just has like a concussion or something. But like he's trying to start the car, it won't start. And then he passes out on the steering wheel. The horn just goes. And Lori's like, stop. And she like pushes him back and his head, it doesn't go like back, it goes all the way back, bitch, on the car seat. Is he dead? Or did he just pass out and he's just gonna wake up with a really crooked ass neck? And she left him like that? That is rude, Lori. But then Loomis and them, they get there and they get out of the car and they go into the building that Michael's in. And Lori like sees them and she's like, get out of the car, crawling. And she can't speak. Okay, I feel like people will talk shit about Lori's yelling for help here because when they're outside, they don't hear her because she's like raspy. And she's in a lot of pain because she fell asleep. Hit for Michael, she fell asleep and then woke up and chaos ensued. So the painkillers are gone. Once they get into the building, that's when her voice is like, oh yeah, I exist, and screams, but they don't hear her. In her defense, one time I was on a trip in Tennessee, walking down a hallway, and this boy ran and checked me into the goddamn wall, and I just dropped to the floor and he left me. My knee was out of the socket. When that shit happens, you're just like and it was so painful, was like trying to scream for help, but all that it sounded like was me laughing really hard. And then I finally, like, my voice was like, oh, I exist. And screamed bloody murder and people thought I was dying. No, it was my knee, not where it was supposed to be. They let her into the hospital and then Michael just walks through the door. Doesn't even try the door. He just walks through the glass. Like, that's probably where Rob Dyrdek got that shit from, because Michael just walks into doors expecting them to open. Another door closes, another door opens, another door closes, and Michael fucking walks through that shit. Loomis kills him again, and Lori and Loomis are on the same page. He's not dead, he's just out for right now. We should leave and call for help or something, but we can't leave him because he'll just get up and start doing the same bullshit all over again. Loomis tells like the other lady, go call for help in the car. So she's like, walk over the body. You got me fucked up. If you're telling me to go outside when I have to go past his fucking body, you could do that bullshit, Loomis, not me, no. And the marshal is like, he's dead. And they're like, no, he's fucking not dead. And then the marshal is like, bad. And then Michael kills the marshal. They run away from Michael. Obviously, Michael walks through a door and then he somehow can't get through this one fucking door. They're in like a surgery room, so there's like a bunch of like gas thingies. So he like knocks down this fucking door with his arm. Lori shoots him in both eyeballs. Do you guys remember in that one movie, They Live, that one like 7-minute fucking fight scene because the guy wouldn't put the goddamn sunglasses on? Same vibe as Michael doing this. This is his knife. Loomis, the lighter thief, explodes Michael Myers. And that's the end of the movie. Now we're gonna get into the timeline. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. I'm gonna go get a fucking popsicle first, bitch. So Mikey kills his sister and then put into a psychiatric ward. 2 years after that, Lori was born. 2 years after that, the Myers parents die. And Laurie Strode goes up for adoption, and the Strodes adopt her. The entire 15 years that Michael is in the psych ward, he is sitting there, plotting, planning, staring at the wall, never talked, never screamed, never had a fucking issue. He was the perfect patient, and that's why it caused the psych ward to not take him as seriously, as violent as he is. That's how he was able to escape the ward so easily. Michael Myers escapes, steals a car from Loomis. Michael Myers makes his way to Haddonfield to kill his other sister, Lori. And he finds her and stalks her. Her father is selling her family's house? Both their family's house? He ends up killing her friends and almost killing her, traumatizing Tommy and Lindsay and Lori at the same time. That same night, he is shot a million fucking times by Loomis, and he runs away. While he's running away, Lori is sent to the hospital. The police are losing their fucking minds trying to find Michael. That they see a kid in a William Shatner mask, and they think it's Michael. Loomis thinks it's Michael. Police are trying to get him to stop shooting him, and immediately he gets hit by a police car and blown up. Later, they discover that it's not Michael by dental records. Lori gets to the hospital. They, in my opinion, unlawfully sedate her, and Michael makes his way to the hospital. He kills a bunch of people in the hospital. He makes his way to Lori's fucking hospital room, and Lori bamboozled this bitch. He's the king of sabotage. She's the queen of bamboozling. Lori shows her parkour skills. Michael's like, what? I didn't plan for that. Oh, 15 years, I didn't know parkour existed. Loomis is finally told that Lori is Michael's sister. So he's like, fuck, we gotta go to the hospital because he's gonna go finish her off. Lori is almost fucking dead, basically. She's so fucked up. Michael fucked her up in the first Halloween, and now she has been doing nothing but running away from him the entire fucking time she's at the hospital. Loomis tries his best to protect Lori, gives her a gun. She shoots her brother in the face and both of the eyes, dude. So he's blinded. He's blinded. Lori sneaks out of the room. That's when Loomis has all the gas things in the surgery thing exposed to the air, and he blows both of them up. Lori hides, but Michael, you can't kill the boogeyman. Michael walks out of the fire on fire and falls to the ground next to his sister. That is my timeline so far.